We're taught to believe that money is the ultimate shield, that power, influence, and unlimited resources can bend reality in your favor. But on one cold night in April 1912, some of the wealthiest people on Earth discovered a brutal truth. There are moments when money loses all meaning. The Titanic carried billionaires, industrial kings, and heirs to global empiresmen who could buy nations' worth of influence. Yet when disaster struck, their wealth did not slow the water, soften the ice, or rewrite the laws of physics. So here's the mystery we're unraveling today. How did people who controlled industries, markets, and governments become completely powerless in a single night? At the dawn of the 20th century, the world was transforming at unprecedented speed. Industrial capitalism had created fortunes so vast that newspapers struggled to calculate them. Railroads, steel, banking, and shipping generated billionaires before the term even existed. The Titanic emerged from this world as a floating monument to wealth and confidence. Built by the White Star Line, it wasn't designed merely to cross the Atlantic. It was designed to reassure the elite that progress had conquered risk. On board were John Jacob Astor IV, one of the richest men in the world, Benjamin Guggenheim heir to a global mining empire, and Isidor Straus, Conor of Macy's. Their presence served as a guarantee. If they trusted the ship, who wouldn't? But behind the luxury was a system quietly optimized for prestige, not survival. The Titanic was born in an era obsessed with size, speed, and status. Shipping companies competed fiercely for wealthy passengers, promising comfort and elegance rather than emergency preparedness. Safety regulations lagged behind technology. Lifeboat laws were outdated, based on ship tonnage instead of passenger numbers. The Titanic met legal requirements, yet it carried lifeboats for only about half the people on board. The cause-and effect was subtle but deadly. Confidence in engineering reduced fear of failure, and reduced fear delayed critical safeguards. For the billionaires on board, Titanic felt like a private world. First-class passengers lived in lavish suites, ate gourmet meals, and moved through elegant halls far removed from the working machinery below. Wealth shaped behavior. Ice warnings were received, but urgency was low. After all, these men had spent their lives solving problems with money and influence. They assumed control, even over uncertainty. That assumption became their greatest vulnerability. When the iceberg struck at 11:40 p.m., the damage was invisible at first. Many wealthy passengers refused to believe the ship was in real danger. Some went back to their rooms. Others waited for instructions. As water rose and panic spread, the illusion of power shattered. There were not enough lifeboats. Rules replaced influence. The sea made no exceptions. John Jacob Astor was denied a seat on a lifeboat beside his pregnant wife. Benjamin Guggenheim famously changed into formal evening wear, declaring he was prepared to die like a gentleman. Isidor Straus refused to leave his wife behind. In the final moments, wealth could not negotiate survival. When the Titanic sank, more than 1,500 lives were lost, including some of the most powerful men of the age. Entire business empires were suddenly leaderless. Stock markets trembled. Insurance companies faced massive claims. Public faith in technological invincibility collapsed. The disaster exposed how elite confidence had masked systemic risk. After the tragedy, reforms swept through maritime law. Lifeboat capacity was increased. Continuous radio monitoring became mandatory. International safety standards improved. But these fixes followed loss, not foresight. The billionaires who trusted the system paid the price for its weaknesses. Today, the world's richest 1% control more than 45% of global wealth. Yet modern crises tell a familiar story. Financial collapses, pandemics, and climate disasters repeatedly show that wealth can delay consequences but not escape them. In 2008, trillion-dollar institutions failed. During COVID-19, global shutdowns ignored social status. Extreme weather now threatens luxury properties alongside ordinary homes. The pattern remains unchanged. Overconfidence leads to underpreparation, and underpreparation leads to catastrophe. Here are 3 lessons the Titanic still teaches us. Power without preparedness is fragile. Systems built for prestige often fail under pressure. True security comes from humility, not wealth. The warning is timeless. When society believes it has conquered risk, disaster is already closer than it seems. If you value stories that expose the hidden truths behind power, money, and history, subscribe, like this video, and share your perspective below, because the next unsinkable system may already be underway.